Well, hey everyone, it's Alec here. We're back at it again with the Smashing Brands podcast. I have an awesome guest, Shawn Prez. Thanks so much for being here, Shawn.
Alec, what up? What up? What up? Thanks for having me, kid.
And he is the founder of Power Moves. And Shawn, you can probably explain it better than I can, but what does your agency do?
Power Moves Inc. We do a variety of things, but at the core of it, we are a promotion and marketing and management company. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a long-standing history in the music industry going back to the mid '90s. Worked with Sean Diddy Combs, helping to build his company, Bad Boy Records, and all of the affiliate companies that came about, whether it's Ciroc Vodka, De Leon Tequila, Revolt TV, Sean John Clothing. So many of them, helped building his brands, and we always were the marketing arm, the grassroots and alternative marketing arm to any of his ventures. So, like I said,
Yeah.
core of it, it's marketing and promotion and management.
Yeah, so you have over 20 years in the music industry. I saw something on your website. You're responsible or you help contribute to over $50 million in record sales or 50 million records sold. I guess that's sort of the same thing. But yeah, I want to know, how did you get started?
Truthfully, I did it the old-fashioned way. I interned.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
For anybody who wants to get in any industry, whether it's telecommunications, I don't know, automotive, technology, and especially in industries like entertainment. The entertainment business, whether it is music, Hollywood, in acting, these industries, they're this small. They
yeah,
literally small, but everybody in the world wants to be either in them or
right.
affiliated with these industries. And the
Yeah,
industries are so small, they can't accommodate everyone. So the best way that I found to get your foot in the door is always work for free. Like
yeah,
literally give your services in exchange for experience. And that's what I did. People overvalue themselves and they overvalue what they bring to the table far too often. And
yeah.
I'm somebody is listening to this and is like, what? I'm not working for free. Okay,
Hmm.
roll the dice on yourself. Maybe you'll hit it out the park, but getting your foot in the door, that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. Like literally, that's what it's all about. So if you can get your foot in the door by exchanging your services for experience, I think that's the best way to do it. And once you're in the
Hmm.
door, that's the limit.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, what did that look like specifically for you? So how old are you now?
You said, how old am I?
Yeah,
52.
52. And you started Power Moves when you were like 32, 31,
No,
something
no,
like
no, no.
that,
I started Power Moves in my 20s.
in your 20s. Okay. So
Mhm.
how did that all come about? Like what was the story around that? So you talk about interning, working for free. So I assume that started before you started your company, or did you start doing, work as part of your company for free, helping other people? How did that all play out?
No, I actually was working in the industry at Bad Boy. I was at the time a director of promotion and
Hmm.
marketing. And
Yeah.
I was learning was at that point I had this skill set that I didn't even know I had, that I was really really good at. I was great at promoting and marketing,
Yeah.
and implementing uh, the neighborhoods in a way that typical corporate brands just couldn't do. So
Yeah.
one day the light bulb went on. It was like, look, if you can promote and market a record, you know, what's to stop you from promoting and marketing sneakers? What's to stop you from promoting and marketing clothing? What's to stop you from promoting and marketing anything?
Yeah.
when you know your core demographic. And while I was working at Bad Boy Records, I actually started my company on the side. And interestingly enough, I found that corporate America was very, very interested in my services to the
Hmm.
point that I was making more money on the side than I was making on my salary. And
Wow.
literally, I hit a fork in the road. It was like, okay, what do you want to do? You
Yeah.
can work in here at the label, or you can, bet it all on yourself and go out there and see if you can build this business. And
Yeah.
I literally went to Diddy at the time and I handed in my resignation, and I gave a 2 week notice. Literally on the 13th day, he called me into his office. And that was a meeting I didn't really want to have, but it was what it was. And I was
Yeah.
I'm leaving tomorrow. And, he said, look, I can't stop you from leaving, but why don't you stay here? You're too valuable to this company. I'm not even interested in replacing you. So I'll make you a deal. You stay
Mm.
here, build your company under my roof. I'll take you off payroll, but you can use my entire infrastructure, and you can use me as the magnet to go out there and get more accounts. And he said,
Oh,
the
that's
only
so cool.
exactly. He said, the only thing I ask you is don't drop the ball on my stuff. And soon as he gave me that
Yeah.
green light, hit the ground running.
That's amazing. So basically, it was like instead of working for the label, you were working for yourself, and he was a client of yours.
I literally went from being on salary 1 week to invoicing the label as a client.
Yeah. And were you invoicing them more than your salary at the time?
Oh yeah, way more. Oh yeah. I did
Amazing.
good. I did really, really well. Yeah. Shout
Yeah,
shout
that's
shout out
amazing.
shout out to Diddy. People give him a hard time, but I never will, because at the end of the day, he was very, very instrumental in my career and really helping. I had dreams like everyone else of being in the music industry. I did
Yeah.
five total internships, literally four of which resulted in me not getting a job, literally working for free, given a
Yeah.
year at this company, a year at that company, a year at that company. And finally, when he was starting Bad Boy Records, I went over there and he was the first one to see that I had real promise and I had something that was worth paying me for. So I got to give him his credit.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so he was your first client, right? In your business. And then what did the trajectory look like after that? Like what was the next big move of power moves following that?
No, that's a it's a difficult question to ask, because whenever, and I don't know who's listening to this, but
Hmm.
when you're growing a business, you don't grow a business with these giant leaps. You grow them
Yeah.
with two steps. Like literally, you're on one hand, you got to remember, I was in a safe zone, meaning I was getting a check uh deposited into my account bi-weekly. Then I
Yeah.
go to work for myself, and now I got to eat what I kill. So for
Right.
me, just the fact that I was able to get off salary and never look back, uh, taking on one client after the other, anybody from ESPN to HBO, Estee Lauder, there was the Colgate Palmolive. We've had so many wonderful clients over the year, but I look at
Yeah.
it incremental steps. But to answer your question specifically, for Shawn, I don't look at these huge monumental moments uh, as much as I look at the fact that we were able to grow our company, bring on employees, and it's an
Yeah.
all incredible feeling to look across the room and you see someone who is literally supporting their family based on the checks that you're able to cut to them. Those checks said Power Moves Inc. And this is the way that they,
Yeah.
so those types of things are the things that I really look at and I'm enamored with. And I'm saying to myself, like, I'm just excited um, that I was able to change people's lives because, everybody dreams of having a business. Not everybody can pull it off.
Right. No, absolutely. And how do you feel like let's say between when you first started Power Moves and like a few years down the line, how do you feel like you really evolved as a person? Because a business can really grow as much as you can. So what did that look like?
Um, you know, if you're the same person in your 20s that you were in your teens, it's a problem. If you're the same person in your 30s that you were in your 20s, it's a problem. If you're the same
Yeah.
person in your 40s that you were in your 30s, it's a problem. Life is about evolution. It is.
Hmm.
At the core of all of us, God willing, you stay that same human being. But I believe we're put here to grow. We're put here to evolve. Uh, for me, the
Yeah.
person I am right now, and I look back over the course of my life, if I'm still thinking the way that I was thinking 10 years ago, I failed at this thing
Yeah.
called I want to keep continuing to grow and evolve. And even with our company, um, it has gone through so many iterations. We started off as strictly a grassroots um an alternative marketing agency. We
Okay.
have since evolved into event production,
Hmm.
founding the Global Spin Awards, which is the highest award. It's the Grammys for the DJs. It's the highest award that
Oh,
any
cool.
DJ can hope to achieve within a calendar year. We have
Hmm.
evolved to a digital agency using so many of the resources that we have learned offline and now bringing them online. Uh,
Yeah.
having our hand one part in corporate America and another part in the music and entertainment industry. We, like I said, we do a lot of management, artist management, and we
Yeah.
work with these artists to literally help them achieve success beyond just making records. Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, matching a hit record or a hit artist with a celebrity brand is a win-win for everyone. And we
Right.
do deals all the time. So, in business, you're always going to evolve, but more important as a person, as a human being, that should be your life's focus.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I say, one of like a big meaning of life for me is just to continue to grow as a person. If we're getting like a little bit better every day, that's, what matters most. So I love what you said there. I'm curious to like, who is the Sean, when he was, you say you're 52 now, right? Who is Deshaun running this company when he was, let's say, 42 versus 52? What's the difference been there?
Um, well, I'll go back to when we first started, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
take it back to my mid 20s.
Okay.
When we first started, it was a run and gun. Um, I was very much working hard, and I
Yeah.
had to evolve into working smart. Everything for me was, like I said, you eat what you kill. So I was always on. Um,
Yeah.
Very difficult to be in a relationship when
Yeah.
is about your business. It's about your financial future. It's about growing this baby of yours.
Yeah.
Um, and then over time, I think as an entrepreneur, I learned something that it takes most entrepreneurs years to learn, which is how to delegate. You know,
Yeah.
feel extremely safe when I do something because I know it's going to be done right. But
Hmm.
even when you hire people and you bring them onto the team, we as entrepreneurs, we have a very difficult time learning to just let somebody else do the work and trust
Yeah,
that I brought them in, they know what they're doing, they have an expertise, and they're going to be able to fulfill the task that I actually hired them for. And because
yeah,
of that, that takes learning. It really does. So, uh, that person has really changed over the years. I don't think I'm as hot-headed. I understand clients come and clients go, and that's another big lesson that anybody
yeah,
starting business should know. It's part of the business to lose market share. That everything is
yeah.
upward trajectory. Something's gonna happen. I don't care if it is you're gonna lose a client that you did everything under the sun to please.
Hmm.
Maybe they just have a different outlook on what their expectation of you and your company was. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that this is life. It's never
Yeah,
gonna be up days. It's sometimes gonna be down. Nobody on planet Earth could have predicted COVID. No one. COVID
yeah,
shut down. How do you evolve as a business and as a businessman when everything you know to be normal now ceases to exist? So you just have to continue to change, and you have to continue to adapt and be nimble. I pride myself on being nimble, being able to make quick decisions, being able to move on a dime based on the way the market changes. These are things
hmm,
that are very different, or that you learn as a businessman over time.
yeah. No, absolutely. And what do you feel like some of your key lessons as a leader has been just through managing, these hiring clientele, the employees, working with these big name artists?
That's actually a great question. I mean, off the top of my head, I would say some of the key lessons I've learned as a leader is
Hmm.
to empower the people who work under you. Allow
Yeah,
them leaders in their own right. Everybody knows you're the one sitting at the head of the table. You don't have to take credit for everything. You don't. Empower those people. Let them know and give them credit openly.
yeah,
Make a feel good when they do something that deserves accolades. Make their accolades public, because all it's going to make them do is work harder for you and harder for the company. Um,
yeah,
Pay people and pay them well. Great talent is hard to find.
yeah, of
You know,
course.
people, people jump from company to company, job to job. You want to make your environment an environment that, yes, I could probably make more somewhere else, but I just enjoy coming to work here. I believe in the vision. I believe in the company mantra. I believe in what we're doing. And at the end of the day, this place for me is home. That's making your team feel inclusive is extremely important. So paying them well, making them feel inclusive, I think that these are all things that you learn, over time. um th- th- I work very hard, and I expect my team to work very hard. I come from
Hmm.
working Shawn Diddy Combs in the beginnings, and you had to be a Navy SEAL. You had to be an Army Ranger. You had to be a Green Beret to survive in that system at that time. And I have that same expectation for my team. But at the end of the day, there has to be a balance. And as a leader, you have to know how to crack the whip on one hand and give somebody a hug on the other hand. But you should
Yeah,
always feel great about the work and their contribution to the overall
Hmm.
goal.
Yeah. No, I love that. And speaking of which, what do you feel like was a campaign in particular that you were most proud of between you and your team?
There are so many of them over. I mean, this is one that probably you guys wouldn't remember, but in 2016, I believe we did something called the Vote or Die campaign. And it was really a voter initiative to get a younger voter out to the voting block and
Hmm.
really educate younger people on your vote does matter. I love that campaign, everything
Yeah.
about it. Ciroc Vodka is another one that I'm very proud of. You know, we we're selling liquor on one hand, but we really intertwine the lifestyle of
Hmm.
the DJs and artists and nightlife and celebration
Yeah.
all to this bottle. And because of that, consumers, whether it was DJ Khaled or DJ Drama or DJ Envy or some of their favorite DJs telling them
Hmm.
like go out there, we created this thing called Ciroc Boys. And it started
Hmm.
out with a collection of, some of the dopest talent out there. But what I learned was the Ciroc Boy thing had gotten so big, everybody, when they were going out on a Friday night, hitting their local liquor store, going to a club, or they're going to a restaurant, they were ordering vodka, calling themselves Ciroc boys or Ciroc girls.
Uh-huh.
That's when you know a campaign is really, really working. So off the top of
Uh,
my head, just two, those are a couple of things that I can think of that I'm pretty proud of.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I have more of a deep question for you. Whether it was personal or business, what do you believe has been the hardest thing for you that turned out to be the greatest blessing?
What a great question. Ask that question again. Let me make sure I'm interpreting it correctly.
Whether it was in life or business, what's been the hardest thing that happened to you that turned out to be the greatest blessing?
Okay, and this goes both in business and in life. You're not in
Either
control.
one,
Oh
whatever
no,
one. Yeah.
answer your question. The
Hmm.
answer is you're not in control. You're just not. And what
Hmm.
do I mean? Um, you can do all that like. Our responsibility as human beings
Yeah.
is to give it 120%, right?
Yeah.
Gotta
Right.
get it, gotta go hard. We gotta make sure everything that we physically can do is done. We cross every T and we dot every I. But after that, it's beyond you. The circumstances, what happens is beyond you. And sometimes we especially myself, who is an alpha type individual,
Hmm.
you like to believe you can control the outcome, you can control the situation. But both on the business and personal front, if time and age has taught me nothing else, it has taught me I'm not in control. I'm only in control of my level of effort. So if I
Yeah.
make literally, if I make 500,000 or I make 50 million, the only thing that I can control is the level of effort that I put in to a situation. So whether it is trying to keep your marriage together, whether it is trying to be the best father, husband to your children, uh, all you can do is be the best person, the best individual you can be. Now, if those kids grow up and they still hate your guts, that's beyond you. If
Yeah.
you home and you find your wife in bed with another man, that's beyond you. All you can do is what you can do. And it's the
Yeah.
same business. there are, and I mentioned this earlier, there are going to be some accounts, there are going to be some circumstances, some situation, products, whatever it might be that you're pushing.
Hmm.
Despite your best effort, it just didn't hit. And then there are going to be others that you did everything you know how to do. And then there's just this amazing X factor that you had nothing to do with that overnight takes your company from here to the stratosphere.
Yeah,
So I would just say, understand you are not in control. And the only thing that you're in control of is your level of effort. That's it.
I love that. Yeah, and I made a post the other day on Instagram about you can't control outcomes, but you can control the actions that you take every single day. And it's the actions. If you do enough of the right actions consistently over time, you can't always control the outcomes, but you can make them more in your favor than
You,
if you didn't do them. So, no, I love that. So, I have one last question for you, Shawn. So, let's say it's the end of your life, you're on your deathbed, you did everything you wanted, and you get to leave the world with three truths, three things that you know to be true about the world around you. What are they? And if you need a moment to think about it, that's totally cool.
well, three truths about the world around me. I'll answer it the best way I know how, and it might not even be answering, because when you get to my age,
Hmm.
you you pass the halfway mark. Like I'm crystal clear. You know, I I I got more time behind me than I have in front of me.
Yeah,
That's just life. So you start
yeah,
to think your life in its entirety. What do you want it to look like? How, when you leave this earth, you take your last breath. What do you want people to think about you? What's your legacy? All of those things. Um, One of the things I'm very, very intentional about is I may not be able to do everything that I want to do, but no one on planet Earth will ever say that I didn't give it 100% effort and a try. I never let fear stop me from doing something that I truly in my heart wanted to do. I at least gave it a shot. Whether it worked out for me or not,
hmm,
who knows? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah,
But fear would is never going to be a reason um that I didn't try something.
yeah,
Something that it's right in line with that. Think of a sponge, right? And you could fill a sponge with water and it expands. I want my life to be, I want that sponge to be damn near dry. Like I want to wring that sponge out. And
yeah,
what I mean by that is I want to give life my all. I never want to sit on my butt. I never am like, I'll do this tomorrow. I'm never just a wishful thinker and saying,
hmm,
I would love to go visit this country. No, I'm going to visit this country. I would love to start this business. No, I'm going to start this. Like, I
yeah,
want my life to be like, if it's a sponge, I want it to be wrung out and empty by the time that they put me in that grave. And you know, I can then sleep well. I could say, yo, you know what? You didn't get to do everything, but you damn sure gave it a good try.
yeah,
Um, and if I had to say a third thing, what would that really be? You know, Oprah talks about this a lot. Um, I think you must live your life in a state of gratitude. And for me, being a spiritual person of faith, I
yeah,
live in thanks. And what I mean by that is, I think we wake up and we literally take for granted that we have our five senses, sight,
Yeah.
touch, smell, feel. There's somebody right now that would give their right arm to be able to see. There's somebody who has never heard a word. There's somebody who is breathing, but there are machines that's doing it for them.
Hmm.
I really live and when I look over my life, um, I try to live every moment in a state of thanks
Hmm.
for what I've acquired, what I've done, what I'm going to do,
Hmm.
and gratitude just for being alive this second, just for being here talking to you. Uh,
Yeah. Likewise.
like literally, this is it's a great day. There's somebody right now who knows who's locked in a cell somewhere, and they would love the opportunity to talk to Al. They would love the opportunity to talk to another human being. They can't. They're in solitary confinement, or maybe they're in a hospital bed. Maybe they lost the ability to speak. So
Yeah.
I really try to live my life in thanks, in high praise and gratitude. So I guess that's my long-winded answer to you.
No, I love that. Yeah. So just as a summary, it's like, don't let fear stop you. The other one was give, life basically 120%, wring out that sponge. And then
Yep.
three would be live a life of gratitude.
Very important, man.
Yeah.
It's important. And if I could throw in a bonus one,
Hmm.
we've all heard that saying, it's better to give than to receive. Uh, and if people would really like to know one of the secrets to my success, uh, you got to give. You have, and giving doesn't mean monetary. Uh, you know, let's just be honest. I didn't know you from Adam. You reached out to me, and we put this conversation, this interview on the books. Um,
Hmm.
I understand what it's like to reach out to people and you want to sit down with them and interview them. And when you
Hmm.
reached out, I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I'm flattered that he sees something in me, but who
Hmm.
knows? Maybe he's short on interviews this week. Maybe, he's seen some of my other interviews and this is something that would make a difference in the lives of the people who listen to his platform.
Yeah.
It all comes back to you. It always does. Like when you give and you give with a good heart and an open heart. And again, it's not just monetary, it's time. It costs us nothing. Like really think about it. It costs you nothing to smile at someone, to say hello, to acknowledge their existence. We don't know what people are going through. Like
Yeah.
people are at state, and just to acknowledge someone's existence, maybe you'll never know. But that person goes home and says, this was the day I was gonna end my life. And because this person just acknowledged me, I see the value in being
Yeah.
here. So
Jeez. Yeah.
I would definitely say as a bonus point,
Hmm.
learn to be a cheerful giver. Uh,
Yeah.
don't be just a taker.
No, no, I
Everything
love that.
about you, you
And you can
know.
give in the most simple ways, just like looking at someone and smiling at them, right? Looking people in the eye, complimenting people. Like, it's amazing. And that's something that I've been trying to do a lot more of. It's just like, because everybody has their head down in this society, at least in America, So I'm just trying to make more of an effort to just smile at people when I walk past them. So
You never know what
this
it
is
does.
a,
You never know.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
awesome. Well, Sean,
think it's we can all benefit from.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much. This has been an awesome interview. Thanks so much for being here. And where can the audience find you?
On all platforms, you can find me at I am Shawn, SHAWN Prez. P is in Paul, R is in Roger, E is in Elvis, Z as in zebra. At I am Shawn Prez.
Perfect. Well, sounds good. Thanks again for being on, Sean, and for everyone else watching this, thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate you, Alec.